The Africa Green Economy Summit 2026 will be taking place from the 24th to the 27th of February in Cape Town, South Africa. The theme this year is From Ambition to Action, scaling investment in Africa's green and blue solutions. The summit will focus on climate finance, reflecting outcomes from recent international climate negotiations, including COP30 in Brazil. It will also reflect on the Africa Climate Finance Tracking Report 2025, which shows that the current funding covers only 25% of Sub-Saharan Africa's annual climate finance needs, underscoring a significant delivery gap. For more on this, we joined on the line by Iain Banner, the founder and chairman of Go Green Africa. Good to have you with us. Welcome to Africa in Business.
Tommy, it's wonderful to be with you and your listeners. Thank you.
Thank you. So let's unpack the theme for a moment. It's From Ambition to Action. What concrete actions does the summit hope to accelerate across African countries?
Well, the main purpose of the summit, simplistically, is to collect global capital with African green economy opportunity. So we run plenary sessions over the 2 days of the summit, but we also have pitch stages where this year we have at the present 56 companies that will be presenting to a large amount of global capital to solicit funding. And the importance of that is there are many great new initiatives that are either in play or about to get into play that are going to make a contribution towards the green economy and improving the lot of Africa as a continent. But they need funding, and this is the opportunity for them to put their best foot forward. So the impact is what it's about. It's about landing capital, why that creates jobs, and that's our biggest challenge.
And how will the summit highlight some innovative financing models, thinking of blended finance, green bonds, or even carbon markets?
Well, we have many streams that are in breakaway sessions that are investigating that entire portfolio that you are raising around financing, the structures of financing, climate finance, etc. Because the reality is Africa sits contributing only something like 3 to 4% of the emissions in the world. It only receives about 2 to 3% of the funding. And there is a massive gap, which you spoke of in your introduction, between the needs to address climate change, frankly, and the money that's coming into the system. But we are hopeful that Africa can be part of a big solution.
But how realistic is it really to close this gap? Because it's quite a big one, 75%. That's a huge gap.
It's like everything in life. How do you eat an elephant? You eat an elephant one mouthful at a time. And if you consider one of my big, hairy goals, which is an extension of ages and as part of Go Green Africa, is our carbon sink in the DRC and Gabon is, holding about 32 trillion tons of carbon. It's a massive asset. And before it starts being exploited by greedy exploiters, we need to protect it and make sure that that turns to value for the benefit of local communities. It's the only way we are really going to protect very large landscapes in Africa successfully. And it results in a combination of ecotourism, rangers, management, hospitality, etc., and making sure that the real primary keystone inhabitants of Africa, which are our animal species, not the human species, are able to continue surviving as they should, plentifully and successfully.
So let's look at this financing and where the opportunities lie. How can African countries better leverage international climate finance following COP30 and its outcome?
I think it's a confidence thing. We've got to do a better job at marketing Africa. I mean, so carbon credits is an example. They are not a panacea, but they certainly are potentially a contributor towards the shortfall in financing. The reality is carbon markets are in disarray at present, but the mechanism, the idea that a polluter that generates a ton of carbon has to acquire a ton of set-off makes complete sense in my mind. We are looking, we launched something called Carbon Market Africa Summit in October in Johannesburg. I'm pleased to say we discovered that the marketplace was desperate to come together. There's so much opportunity in this space, but due to cowboys and people who took advantage of structures and systems, it kind of collapsed. There was no trust. So trust is a key factor. If you want to know how we solve this, we've got to inject trust back into the system. We've got to build the system. And I believe that Africa is an enormous player in the future in this regard.
All right, Iain, we'll leave it at that, and wishing you all of the best.
Tommy, thank you to you and your listeners.
Thank you. That's Iain Banner, the founder and chairman of Go Green Africa.